So, I want to talk to you now about a story that a lot of people are talking about. A Buffalo businessman who is no stranger to controversy facing a ton of new criticism tonight in his run for Congress in the redrawn 23rd District. Carl Paladino entered the race last week after Congressman Chris Jacobs announced he won't run for re-election. Well, it's now surfaced that Paladino shared a post on Facebook which claimed the recent mass shootings here in Buffalo and in Texas were so-called false flags that Democrats engineered to gain support for gun control. Yesterday, he told media outlets that he didn't post it. Then today, he reversed and told the Buffalo News that he just hadn't remembered sharing it and that he didn't read the article in full before he did. Turns out he also emailed it to a ton of people as well. We should note that Paladino would not speak with us at the event last night. You're seeing video of it. He also turned down another interview request with Two on Your Side earlier today. So a lot to talk about here, and joining us live to do that is Two on Your Side political analyst, Republican Carl Calabrese. Carl, it is always good to see you. We talked to you last week when we found out that Chris Jacobs was not running for re-election. We knew almost immediately that Carl Paladino was going to make this run at it. How significant is this latest scandal in his effort to try to go to Congress?
Michael, I lost count of how many campaigns I worked on or chaired or was a candidate in. And one of the rules that has always been at the top of my list is the worst thing you can do is to start a campaign off with an unforced error. And the only thing worse than one unforced error is two. And unfortunately, I think for Carl Paladino, that's what we've seen. Two unforced errors within a 24-hour period. One was the posting and the emailing of that theory and the false flag theory. And of course, the other one was initially denying it and then having to retract. So not a good way to start off a campaign. And I'm sure his political opponent in this race, Nick Langworthy, will be reminding people of that between now and August 23rd.
Yeah, we should note Carl Paladino has a history of making controversial statements, to say the least. He's made racist statements about the former president and the former first lady. Yet somehow here he is, right, still running for Congress. He got the endorsement of one of the highest ranking Republicans in the entire country, in Representative Elise Stefanik. Is there any reason to believe that this is something that will doom his campaign, or is he just able to get by with this stuff?
Well, he's got a base of supporters that, in all likelihood, will overlook this as Carl being Carl. This is a strange, wild theory. I've got an old friend from high school who now lives in Texas, who is one of these people who buys into every single conspiracy theory as soon as they're launched. And this is no different. I heard about this a week or so ago, right after the Texas shooting. This idea that this was a government-run operation, that the shooters were brainwashed by the CIA, and this was a false flag operation to build momentum to abolish the Second Amendment. I mean, this is wacky stuff. Are there people out there that believe it? Yes. My hope is that there are few of them and far between the ones that believe it. Again, if I'm running his campaign, this is not the way I want to start it, and I got to hope, anyways, that people don't buy into this wackiness that's out there on this and many, many other theories, from 9/11 to, I mean, these folks believe the Titanic didn't sink, and it's just bizarre stuff that is circulated on the internet.
Finally, Carl, if you can do this in 30 seconds or less, I would appreciate it. Nick Langworthy, Carl Paladino, both of them close to President Trump. They would seemingly be not necessarily opponents in most situations, right? How ugly do you think this primary is going to get?
I think it's going to get ugly. I think it's the nature of the campaign seasons we live in now. Campaigns seem to go from ugly to uglier to ugliest in warp speed time. And so I would think, in fact, Carl Paladino started the campaign off right away by taking some shots at Nick Langworthy, a friend of his and an ally in politics for many years. So if it started that way, I can only see it getting hotter and nastier.
Appreciate the brevity there. Two on Your Side political analyst Carl Calabrese. It's always great to get your insight on this stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Good to talk with you.
You too.